That was what we call a premature button push, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We're actually live. We lived up to our name. Mr. Brooks O'Brien, how you doing? Welcome to ZNB Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. How we doing? Feel good?
Oh, I thought you were doing more high points. No, I'm great.
I mean, we can just...
You know, there's only so much that you can do before it gets to be a little, you know, nothing constitutes the hype quite yet. We're not in next week yet. We got the castle, but not the, well, not the castle.
The castle. Not the castle that, yeah, a castle. Like, oh man, could you imagine? Oh my God. That would have been really, one of these days he's going to get to announce it. One of these days he's going to be able to sit there and go, we're getting the castle.
It's not going to happen. There's a better chance of me going to Las Vegas and getting a TV show and paid millions of dollars in an offer on the spot than me getting the Princess Peach's castle.
I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to throw a scenario out to you. You ready for this? I don't know if chat is ready for this. Think about this for a second. You go, you get your $1 million television show deal, right? Guess what? Now you can have a call with, you now have the clout, Mr. Brooks O'Brien. You now have the power to go get the higher ups of Lego on the phone and say, what do we got to do? What do we got to do, people? What's the whole, you now have the power to ask those questions.
I will not use my power as a TV superstar to fundraise for charity or put good out into the world. No. It's to serve my own self and my desires by getting a castle. You're correct.
I wouldn't expect it any other way.
I am a loser just like the rest of them. That's it. My true colors are showing. Finally. You have seen my plans since 2018, Zachary.
He's been making all these $1 trillion deals just to get that Peach's castle
realized. So I can leverage my clout and use all of you to get to where I want to go, which is in an office in Denmark, and corner the poor designer and make it happen.
I wouldn't blame you, man. I mean, I would do it.
I wouldn't blame you, dude. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'd do it. But hey,
because the Lego group be putting out some big, steamy, milky caca recently that we're going to talk about. Somebody's got to be, you know what I mean?
It's like we planned this. I got the buttons ready to go. I got all kinds of sound effects ready to go for some of these things that we're going to talk about on this week's episode of ZNB Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. You can catch us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube or on your podcast channels, Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere you can absorb your podcast. Please do us a favor. Give us a like on all of those podcast channels. Give us a like here on YouTube. Hit those heart buttons if you're live with us in chat right now. And if you are live with us on our YouTube show, stick around with us for the end of the show, because that's when we're going to do the post wrap-up show. And you never know what we're going to get into. It could be Build-A-Bear, could be popular culture things like, Daredevil, or, heck, we may even... Who knows? We may even, throw our hat in the ring to bring back the Powerpuff Girls canceled television show. We don't know. Maybe that's what Brian's pitching in Vegas. Is the Powerpuff Girls? Get them back out there. Get them back out there.
We got to run it back. Run it back. Same crew. Same vision.
Same vision. Come on, make it happen. I saw the trailer, man. I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm down with that. I'm down with that poop show. Let's go. I think it'd be fun.
if that can come anywhere close to being a reality, just imagine not only what I could do, but what you could do, Zach, or what anybody can do in life. There's a lot of garbage that goes out there every single day. We're setting a precedent. We can do it. We can do it.
I love it. But we don't typically talk about the Powerpuff Girls here. We typically talk about Lego and the world surrounding Lego and some of the fun stuff and sometimes not so fun stuff that is happening in the Lego world. Sidebar, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, I was hating, man. I was hating like crazy on these Transformer brickheads that Lego was putting out. I was concerned. We were all looking at the promotional imagery that we were being given. They weren't releasing the instructions. We weren't sure what was going on, but by God, we were all certain that we were getting our first set of stickers in a established printed piece theme, right? And boy, I built them the other day, and Lego just knocked them right out of the park, man. Not a single sticker in that thing. Us brickheads fanatics are over the moon with these Transformers brickheads, dude. And I got to be the first one to, like, you know, eat crow, whatever they call it, right? Like dude, they killed it. They killed it with the matter of fact, the Bumblebee one is so good. I could make the argument that it's a better representation of Bumblebee than the big version that we got last year. It's really, really, really good. I like these. I like these a lot.
I'm glad. I have no other comment. I'm glad for you and anybody else that is fixated on collecting all these. Are you gonna get the super rare Comic-Con ones? Are you gonna dive back? Do that?
No, I've tried to stay
so
away.
You're not collecting them. You're not collecting. You're not.
No, I've tried to stay away in Lego in general. Excuse me. I've tried to stay away from going out of the way to collect like overly expensive sets and stuff like that. I'll make a rare exception here, here and there, but for the most part, I'm trying to, contain my wallet and not go after some of those, ridiculously priced things. And I mean, the problem, the Lego's got a major collectability problem because of things like what we're seeing right now with the Qui-Gon Jinn beard issue, right? Like that's something we talked about in last week's episode. And it just, things like this just kind of go a little nutty for me and for my taste, the amount of upcharge people are putting on it. And I can't, it bothers me, man. It bothers me at my core to see people just taking advantage of other people that way for dollars. I don't like that. It's not who I am as a person. So it kind of bothers me to do that. I'm the guy that will go, do a garage sale and like sell, what do you call it? One of the handheld video game device things, right? That's like probably valued at $300, $5. Sure. If you want it, your kid really wants it, $5. Go have it. Go, much to the dismay of my wife when she realizes.
So this is a really awkward time to mention my reselling business that I have, my eBay store, and that I upcharge by 350%.
Probably. And then you all add another upcharge on your shipping, right? To make sure that you get a little bit extra profit on the shipping.
Yes. And, super duper extra handling fees and a little extra fee on top of that to ensure that I can actually take a vacation after I fulfill the order. And that way I can get the extra expensive soda package on top of it, access to the buffet. It's every incremental fee is to help me exclusively.
Already.
And my desire to, I'm not finished talking. My desire. I couldn't. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Already talking like a sleazy television producer out in Hollywood.
Dude,
everybody.
I said the worst thing. Pick Stitch did a resub yesterday, and I'm like, speaking of people I never want to associate with in my life, Pick Stitch with a 15-month resub. And I'm like, wow, I'm an awful person. As he's raised $5,000 for Starlight in 3 days. I'm like, wow, I'm just...
He's gonna put that in his book, though. That's gonna be
Yes.
he's gonna be trollified, right, in his book. Like he's
Yeah.
the character, the Brooks O'Brien character, is going to be converted into a troll in his worst nightmare, right? And that's the kind of stuff.
Stop spoiling the plot. Come on.
I know. Hey, listen. If I can't be yelled at if I'm like that good at predicting plots and storylines and things, like some predictions that we're going to be getting on later on in our list here.
Oh, this is so real. Those predictions are so good. It's like we've had visions of them before, and they've been apparently wiped from our memory. Heaven forbid.
Apparently, what somebody could not envision, however, is the space station snafu that we had on March 1st. So we were all really, really excited about this release of the Micro Command Center. It was going to be an insider's points purchase. And I say purchase because you'd use points to purchase it, right? Basically, use your insider points that you've collected by buying Lego, and you turn those points around and you purchase a code to then acquire certain items, certain, collectibles, sets, whatever. You can turn it in for, money value, money off your sets, whatever. But the Micro Command Center was an idea set that was submitted by somebody in our Twitch community who helped create and design the Micro Command Center. It's a it's a refresh on a old nostalgic set that people had back in the 70s. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But people were going nuts over it because of the nostalgia sake, right? So most of us looking at that March 1st calendar, we had this one highlighted, man. We're like, we know it's coming out. It's, we're ready to go. We're going to immediately, before we buy anything on March 1st, we're all going into our insiders section on the website, and we're using our points. It's supposed to be 2,000 points. We're going to use our 2,000 points. We're going to get our code. Now, the code's available for 60 days. We've seen some shadiness with Lego in the past, where even if you had a code, sometimes they run out of stock and they don't honor the code, or they refund the code, or they don't ever ship it because they ran out of stock too early. So I've always been like, if there's something like this, I'm going to redeem my code, and then I'm going to immediately buy something small, like a keychain or something that I can immediately redeem the code with, and get it sent out to me. And not wait the 60-day grace period that they had. March 1st comes and goes, and it never goes live. And the world of Lego, you could have heard a pin drop. Actually, no, I take that back. Really? I take that back. What you could hear was constant mouse clicking on the refresh button, trying to refresh the freaking page. Like, where's the Micro Command Center? And it was radio silence from Lego. Like, it just wasn't there. And nobody could figure out what was going on. And then finally, the Lego Ideas Group puts out a statement, and it was like, can you please, for all that is holy, give our refresh button a break? We have something going on in the background, the back end. We cannot fix. We can't figure out how to fix it. So we apologize, but we don't know when it's going live. That was the thing. On March 4th, it finally goes live, and people go nuts, and they start, clicking and redeeming it and all of this other stuff. Okay, great. They release it, not only be late because of the technical issue that they had, but then they go one step further to twist the knife, and they release it for 250 more points than they advertised that it would be released for. And then they put out a statement. It says, we had previously informed the reward would be available to redeem for 2,000 insider points. The Micro Command Center is actually available for 2,250 insider points. We're sorry for the mix-up. Most people and businesses, when they mess up an advertised price, they have to honor said advertised price.
Well, so maybe, hear me out, as Hollywood O'Brien, shameless businessman here. Yes, there are laws, and I actually see this on scanners, specifically in Massachusetts, that say, hey, if there's a price discrepancy, we'll honor whatever stipulation. They have it every single scanner in like a Target. But this isn't a price. It's points. So because it's points, they can do whatever they want and swap it whatever with no repercussion from the law, which is kind of slime-bally, like hardcore. Now, I don't know if that apply, like, you know, Lego based out of where, like, is it technically Denmark law? Is it Connecticut? I have no clue. I have no idea. But that's for one thing. Secondly, I wish Lego would do what a lot of live service games do. They'll have a separate X or Blue Sky, whatever. And it's literally just for support on the tech side that says, hey, this is our issue, whatever, because they don't want to put it out into their typical timelines and make an excuse. Like, okay, if there's something specifically wrong, then you can go look on that thing. But, you know,
just information, communication, right?
Anything in that way. So people ended up getting it for how much more is 250 points money wise?
Maybe $5, right?
Okay, $5. So this is a $25 item, right?
I would, yeah, you could equate it to that, yeah. I haven't looked it up to see what they're putting the price tag.
It seems expensive in a way.
Well, they're giving you that little micro space person.
Is this the only way you can get the blue one?
Well, they're not calling it a baby this time, so I don't know if that's the difference. So yeah,
whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know. So here's where I stand on it though. What you're saying is yes. I mean, it's right. You know, it's points. There's no monetary, like, it's not like somebody spending money. I mean, you did originally spend money to acquire the points. And imagine if somebody was just holding on and hanging on to those 2,000 points, like only, like, I'm going to max out my point. I've got 2,001 and I've been holding on to it, right? They knew it was coming. We've been told it's 2,000. I'm holding on to it. And they don't have the extra 250 to get it. The thing was delayed because of a technical issue on their end. It was advertised at the wrong price or at the wrong point. Just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. The right thing here would have been to just be like, you know what? You're right. It's 2,000. Here, take your 2,000. It's 2,000 points.
I think it's because both issues happened. It didn't release on time and it got a price increase. Now, did they not retroactively, but did they say this is releasing at this definitive time and day, like a revised time, or they just pushed it live and that was it?
They just launched it, yeah.
So they did 3 bad things in a row.
Yeah, they just randomly, yeah.
Those are the 3 worst things you can do. Like, that's when you say to people, hey, all right, we messed this up. We're going to give people until, you could say literally the next day. You could say it whenever. But like, to do all 3, that's bad business. You don't do that.
You don't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just goodwill, like, to show that, you know, they are still a company of the people, you know, that they still want to acknowledge and show, you know, respect to their consumers. The right thing would have been to just, hey, like, you know, yeah, I haven't tried this yet. I'm not saying I'm not going to, because it is still
call them and revise it.
It's still 250 points. It's still like, it's potentially around a $5, you know, value, right? Like, I'm not above getting on the keyboard and chatting them up and saying, hey, you know, this was advertised at this, you guys delayed it at that. Like, anyway, I can get my 250 points back.
So here's a question that
they're pretty good about that stuff.
I think they would. So this is obviously designed by Falcarich, so nice job. GG's, congratulations.
Yes, please. Course. Yes, again, this takes nothing away from the set itself. Like, people were still, that's the thing. People were salivating over getting this, from nostalgia's sake, from supporting somebody in the community's sake. Like, people were excited about this set. Like, and it sucks that was kind of the crazy political corporate whatever was like tarnishing some of that.
What did he get for this there's a competition and won? Do we know, or does anybody maybe live know what he got because of this?
I don't really know what they do with because aren't there different levels for the idea submissions, right? Like if
There
you get
are.
your idea, it's a set, like you get certain level, but if it's a gift with purchase, it's a certain level, and so on and so forth.
So yeah, this was whatever situation it was. I'm curious, but
I don't know
it
if the
being
point difference really affects his.
that's what I mean.
I don't think that would affect anything. I don't think the 250 point difference is going to affect anything on his end. So yeah. If you
so hopefully
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that I'm seeing in our live chat, like that's the Ninjago micro module kind of went through the same problem, and Lego was quick to, like, if you really did have an issue with it, and I've spoken on this show multiple times about the quality of their customer service. It is top tier. It really is. And if you reach out and you have a problem, they will do everything in their power to make it right. Everything. Like if you need stickers or whatever. So I had the old Wally set, right? That had the neck issue or whatever. I didn't open it up for a long time. And when I finally did, I wasn't sure if I had the one that needed the neck fix or not at that, because once they figured it out, they started releasing them with the neck fix. So I reached out to them. I was like, I'm not sure if I need it, and I know this is a really, really old retired set. And they're like, we got you. And they sent me the pieces I need just in case. It was a just in case kind of thing. That just shows, again, the quality of their customer service. Like, they do a good job to keep their customers happy on the other side of some of these issues, right? There's some quality issues with the sets themselves that we have to worry about, and some of things like this that happen and I question. But when it comes to the customer service side of it, dude, they got you. They got your back, man. And I love Lego for that. It's absolutely incredible.
So, shout out to Mbinda for linking what exactly was happening here. Getting 10 copies of the final model, the Space Shuttle Discovery, Tales of the Space Age, the Mars Rover Perseverance, the Astronaut, which I'm assuming is the creator one, and the Mars Crew Exploration Rover. So you're getting about $750 worth of product for that.
Okay.
So, all right. Yeah, that's kind of for something of that scale. And, I hope Falconrich feels good about everything at the end of the day, even still. And it's, like we've said, it's worth celebrating. So
it really is. It really is. And the interesting note of it, a lot of us were, clicking that refresh button because we all expected this thing to be gone immediately, right? Nostalgia hits hard when it comes to Lego, and people go after that stuff quick, especially when you got like a little minifig included in it, right? People are going to go after it fast. It's still available. As of recording the show right now, you can still go in and redeem a code. So maybe they had more than they expected. Maybe they increased the amount because of the delay and whatever. Or maybe people saw that 250 extra dollars, 250 extra points and backed off and said, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if 250 points is worth it that much to everybody, but for me, it wasn't. Like 250 extra points, sure. I've got points to burn. I'm fine with that, and I'm very excited. It was a limit one, so you were stuck with only getting one. That's not the only thing that Lego kind of had a little run-in with some public opinion this past week when they officially announced the new Bluey sets. So not announced, but revealed the new Bluey sets. They're going to be released on June 1st. Their official reveal is over there on lego.com now. It's live. They're available for pre-order, but they're not being met with great opinion and feedback, mainly about the minifigures that are coming
exclusively about the minifigures, dude. Like,
why is this? Somebody fill me in on this, because I'm not seeing a problem.
Not seeing a problem. I don't care about Bluey even remotely. I do not get the same emotional affinity that parents and kids and non-parents, like, I am not. I watched the show. It's a kid's show. It did not pull at my heartstrings in the same way. I've been under fire for this before because I do not get the Bluey hype personally. I've been nearly canceled because of it. Now, Lego has done things like this before and pulled it off well with other animated characters. The solution is simple. You literally have it just like SpongeBob, where you don't have a head, square head on top of, as I'm doing Vogue, on top of the torso here. You have it go lower and you have it be like the torso is the body and pull it off that way. I don't see why they made it so like the heads are actually the heads when you could have had just like a cylindrical body on it with the ears and whatever, like they did with the rocket, like the rocket minifigure. You could have done that. You could have done this 1,000 different ways instead of the way that they've done it here. And especially because people love the characters. The house is secondary. If people don't like the way the minifigures look, then it's not going to sell well. So this collaboration, which is one of the few things that Lego has left on their agenda to make an intellectual property as a slam dunk, you could have killed it. Now people are like, these look creepy. I don't like these. I don't want these. And the whole thing is new.
So there's supposed to be a little bit more stuff. I'm trying to look him up because I have no reference for Bluey, like none. So they're just supposed to be, I mean, he's supposed to be square. Like what? I'm still confused by what's happening. Like why people are so upset about this.
Like they like what it's what they should have done with like SpongeBob, where like the technically the head, if this is a minifigure head, my head, the face should have been like on the chest. It should have been like here, it protrude out. So that way they look shorter compared to a regular minifigure instead of looking like humanoids. Like these look like people in costumes from Disney.
It does. It looks like a humanoid in a dog costume. Like
and that's not the vibe, dude.
I could kind of see that. I don't know.
Exactly. That's the whole point. They look creepy.
Yeah, I could see. You know what I mean, yeah, SpongeBob would be a good example. Most recently, the boogeyman with that whole like thing that they've gone over.
They literally have done this so recently. Don't tell me it's because of factory restraints. Don't tell me it's because of whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do this.
They clearly wanted to do the long legs so they could have movement in them. So you
could do midi legs.
Yeah.
You could do like the torso, the headpiece would not go past the torso, literally like it does on the boogeyman. Same thing.
Right. Yeah.
How do you, and you make them all the same mold. They're all dogs, man. Like they're all like, it's fine. I don't understand.
I think we've talked about this before. Who makes these creative decisions when they're working with an IP?
I don't know. I would pay good money to be in that room. Yeah. I would love to be in that room.
Like, did they show? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going through the scenario. They've got some Bluey bigwigs in the room or on Zoom or whatever, right? And they're showing the mocks and things, and they've got two versions. They've got this, and then they've got a version of what you're talking about, where they put the head is a little bit further down and whatnot, and the ears are a little bit taller or whatever that they're going to do, and then they let them decide. But because we've seen this before in other IPs.
If I read Bluey, I would not allow that. Like I can only think of like, if the Pro Gamers Guide characters were in that kind of style, and like instead of them being more like stout and more appropriate for what the characters look like, they look like, oh, it's just a human body with the head looking different. Like these look like Animal Crossing characters, which is fine because that's what Animal Crossing is. But it's not the same thing. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know.
That's again without being a Bluey purist and without like literally looking him up on Google right now to kind of get a better idea of like what his proportions should be. Dude, I looked at these and I thought they were fine. Like I was like, okay, it represents like I saw it quickly.
You're not hardcore.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm not hardcore, so I looked at it and I thought it was fine. I've had the same kind of problems with other minifigs that are humanoid, like the most recent Grant and Ellie Sattler from the T-Rex thing, like that whole T-Rex set that's coming out, like that. Those two minifigs do not look like those two characters. Like they have done a terrible job with those, with the modeling of it, the hair pieces and everything. Like it's not them.
Zach, are you calling Bluey a guy? It's a girl.
What?
Are you saying he, Bluey? Bluey's am I saying, who's saying he? I know Bluey's a girl.
I'm just calling it Bluey. Them. I don't.
Oh.
I don't know. In general, these minifigs, I'm talking about Alan Grant right now from Jurassic Park. So I don't know where we made that jump, but
I don't know. Zach, Zach, you're the problem. Don't call. This is what I mean. The Bluey people. The Bluey people.
I literally just said I don't know anything about this freaking blue dog. And
this is why I almost got canceled. This is why I almost got canceled. Because I didn't know. And I'm like, what is this dog? Why does everybody love Bluey? And I'm like, I don't get it. And then people are like, why don't you get it, Brian? I'm like, I don't know. And then, yeah. Did you know Blue from Blue's Clues is also a girl?
I had no clue.
Get educated, dude. Come on now.
Apparently, I need to go turn on my local. I don't even know what channel this is. What channel is this normally on?
It is on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever. I'd rather talk about other things than this blue dog. Okay.
And now you know how I feel, and I hope you don't get canceled.
I'm trying to.
Because I've learned
I've
learned to shut my pie hole.
All I want is to get canceled and then go get coffee for you every single day on your television show. Please and thank you. You know what else sucks? Let's talk about some things coming out of Lego that they've recently announced. One of the things not shown here on our live show on YouTube every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, is the new Steamboat, the Lego Ideas Steamboat at 4,090 pieces, being released on April 7th for insiders. We're going to be getting a little gift with purchase with that, the Amelia ticket booth, which frankly is kind of a wah-wah for me after we got the spectacular gift with purchase with the Shackleton dinghy with the Endurance. That gift with purchase was spectacular. And here we get another boat. We get a gift with purchase with it, but it's not very good. However, at 4,090 pieces, it is the largest Ideas set to date now at $329.99 US. You have thoughts about this ship. You don't have any thoughts about this ship. That's how much you care about this ship.
I just think it's every Disney fan's final reminder of Tom Sawyer Island in Orlando, Florida. Before it gets demolished. Oh,
maybe that's why I love it so much. Maybe it's bringing that, that vibe of Disney, to it. I love this set. I can't wait to get this set. I want this set to be a day one for me. It's an interesting price. I was looking at the price of it, and it prompted me to send Brian an email earlier about something else that I want to do on a future show. But like the Endurance at 3,011 pieces was at $269.99, so $60 less, and 1,079 pieces less. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
That's crazy. $60 for 1,000 pieces. That makes that Steamboat like a really good value. If you think about it, like that's really good.
Hey man, if you're in the market for it, there you go. That's it.
I'm kind of digging where they were going with that. So that, to me, that was I liked it. I like the Steamboat. There's play features in it from what I've seen and heard about. Like I'm excited about it. Obviously no minifigs. That's the only downside. Neither did the Endurance, neither did the Titanic. That was where the Shackleton gift with purchase really came to the forefront. Is like if you're able to get that, you're able to get like this allegedly exclusive minifig to go with your Endurance ship and where. So them kind of walking that back a little bit and not following suit with what they did with the last boat that they released is kind of a letdown. I'm not really sure why they're doing it that way. However, one of the other things that they announced was the new Marvel set, the Avengers in-game final battle set, $99.99 US. 621 pieces. This is Portal Hell. I'm not even sure. This set looks awful. And
so let me look at this from two lenses,
please,
and set this up appropriately. The first lens is going back to my younger days, you know, not having a lot of extra disposable income growing up to be like, all right, we're going to get a Lego set for Christmas, whatever. And you're always looking for the best value for what the stuff is you're getting it. And I'm a big minifigure guy. So for the kid who gets one Christmas gift a year, one birthday gift, whatever it is, you have a set that includes majority of the main heroes from Avengers Endgame with a glorified minifigure stand. You get a version of Giant Man. It's a pretty good value in terms of how many minifigures you get to represent the Avengers Endgame final battle, right? That is one lens. And for those that are under that lens that do not buy the other sets, and you get your one thing a year and you haven't been collecting, a lot of stipulations on this point I'm trying to make here. But that's who that's for. For the rest of us, this is a massive steaming pile of garbage, dude. I don't know who in Denmark was allowed to put their mock in a box with a UPC label to be distributed across all the retailers in the entire multiverse. Why do we have a Lego set like this that you could have easily made into multiple $30 to $40 sets with more of a base on it, with more characters, with more added to it that could combine into a larger thing, and you go with something like this? I've literally seen people at Brick World Chicago that have brought this as a mock to the convention, had it on display, and everybody walks by it because clearly it's somebody who's just starting out with their mocking journey, learning, growing. It's their first or second time, and they're just trying to get out there and make a thing out of it. But everybody walks, and this is a product in a box. Who at Lego was like, wow, what? Like,
they've been making these sets, this style, right? They've decided to go into this weird,
several times,
this weird diorama, but action play style set now for a while. At every iteration that they've been doing since that first one has gone lower. The quality on it, the overall look of it, the value of it, is just getting lower and lower and lower. And I'm not sure. Here's
why
another.
Is there an Ant-Man mech in this set?
Okay, this is my favorite part of the set. Is they did an Ant-Man mech because they're finally giving us, not finally, but finally again giving us an Ant-Man minifig. So before, in the Civil War set, that's similar to this style, it was just a brick built Ant-Man, Giant Man,
which looks
set.
Really great, by the way.
Which is fine, fantastic. Great. But, those of us that enjoy minifigs, we have kind of been itching for an Ant-Man for a while now. He wasn't in, I'm not going to count the little micro figure in the Avengers Tower as an Ant-Man figure. Sorry, not it. But this is actually that's going to complete that. Now that this set is out, I'm going to be out, I'm going to get on Bricklink and I'm going to be able to order me an Ant-Man minifigure and then attach him to my Avengers Tower back here, right? Because that's been sorely missing from that.
Lego's had several opportunities to include an Ant-Man, though. It should not have taken this, and it shouldn't have been in this form factor to have it happen.
They have, and I don't know why they did that. And yet they still hate on Hawkeye. Hawkeye's still not in this. I don't know what Hawkeye did. I don't know whose soup Hawkeye pooped in, but somebody in Denmark hates Hawkeye.
According to an interview I was linked to in Brickset, the reason he wasn't included in the Marvel logo is because he would be holding his bow and flinging that out of the logo with one of the push action things was deemed unsafe.
Okay.
And the simple solution to that is you take away his bow and leave the quiver in the back.
That's so dumb. I don't even know where to go with that. Here's the deal with this set. I liked it better when it was released the first time. And the in-game final battle, the exact same freaking name, but it included all of what they deemed as A-Force. This set is way better than that one. And it's the same name. I thought maybe they were going to go the route of the Spider-Man No Way Home set and have them connect somehow, but I don't see a way for it to do that. Not only that, but the Scarlet Witch is in both sets, which is also interesting.
You could have done. I don't understand why Lego wouldn't do multiple $40 sets and release them once a quarter or once every 6 months and make them more detailed and nice. And over the course of 2 years, you can have the entire end game set up. They've literally done this with Spider-Man No Way Home. They had no problem doing it. I don't understand what like Giant Man in the Lego version we've seen before with a regular Ant-Man minifigure. Like you can have it. You can have all of it and keep it around the same. You can even charge more if you want to have like every single hero, right? You make it, to get all 4 of them, it's $120. Okay, well, if you don't care about some heroes, you just don't get them. And then you still have a complete scene. I don't understand.
This is a battle pack, man. This is a large battle pack that costs $100. Like this is ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to meet the kid that is super jazzed about this and say, there you go, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what people are jazzed about and jacked about? Our new Disney castle, folks. Beauty and the Beast castle officially announced for an April 1st release at $279.99 US. Smaller than both in piece size and overall size than the previous big Disney castles, which some people are all about because, it's hard to display some of these larger sets, and especially when you get all, so many of them. I, for one, would like to have seen it the same size at the same price with the same piece count as the previous Disney castles, but they're packing a lot into this relatively smaller package. They're giving you all the minifigures that you really could want or need, including the brick-built ones. So you're getting Belle, Beast, Gaston, LeFou, and Maurice, right? Which that's all you need. You're good. You know what I mean? You're good there. Then you're also getting Lumiere, Fifi, Cogsworth, Chip, the wardrobe, Mrs. Potts, not listed. I know I saw the chef, the oven is in there. So there's going to be other like character representation in this thing. So you're getting, some of the main set pieces that you need. You're getting a library, you're getting the rose, you're getting the area where they dance. Is it at grand scale? No, but it's, it's serviceable. It makes sense for the size and the price that it is. And like I said, I mean, at $280, man, it's pretty good. I've heard some people kind of poo-poo the purple. I kind of like it. It stands out. It's different. The contrast between that and the dark red, that burgundy, whatever color you want to call the roof line and stuff. I'm digging the color scheme a lot. So, as a Disney fan, dude, I'm eating this one up. I love it. Slam dunk, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think anything else could ever compare to like a Cinderella castle in the Disney realm. So I think that being like the biggest and then everything else being at a slightly reduced price, like that's fine. As long as it hits on all the points that a fan of this would want, you can't argue anything else, man. Yeah. Like it's good. So not for me, but it is definitely very cool.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm kind of holding off diving too much into because I like to be surprised during my builds and I don't want to uncover all of the different Easter eggs and whatnot that you might find. And there are things that I'm hoping that we get, certain play features that I hope that we get with it that really help sell the experience of a set like this. But yeah, I mean, to go right next to the other two Disney castles that I have, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. I think it's lovely, and the minifigs are perfect. it's who you need. You know, it's what you need. I'm hoping maybe they have some kind of representation for the little, what was it, a little footstool that was a dog. You know, like give us a little something like that. You know, running around in there or something. You know, little things like that I feel like maybe they're not necessarily listing is in there, but they're gonna give it to us later. But this, to me, this is an easy slam dunk. I can't wait. Is it a day one? You know, probably not, just because, again, price and timing and everything. I mean, this is an April 1st set. You know, this is coming out in a couple weeks, basically, at this point. So, you know, it's
amazing that we can go. This episode is really highlighting this topic in a way, even though we can't show pictures of the next one. But we have really, really, really obvious misses, objectively misses in the space. And then we immediately go into slam dunks. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's obviously hundreds of designers that work on this stuff, but it's all one company. It's all one baseline of quality. And I feel like the discrepancy between the quality didn't used to be this big, but it's more apparent than ever, you know?
It's because the amount. So this is the same problem that movies have run into, right? Where it used to be like a movie a weekend, right? Or a movie every other weekend, or what, like it was a singular tentpole film that came out and it owned the weekend, and it was that way for a month or so, right? And then maybe you'd have another one trickle out. And then what happened? And that was why theaters were single screens. You didn't need drive-ins were still a thing because you didn't need multiple screens. Like that was why single screens were fine. And then the film companies and studios started producing multiple hits over the course of a single month. And then all of a sudden the multiplexes had to start being built because they didn't have the infrastructure available to them to house all of these amazing releases. And we've seen this with Lego. We've seen Lego push out too much too soon, and things get lost. We're already getting, reports now of sets that were scheduled to be retired in 2 years being retired at the end of this year because they're making room. They're not selling because they've been buried under a huge list of releases. So they're not selling. They're at the back of the stores. Nobody's seeing them, whatever. And they have another 300 sets that they've already planned for next January, And so on top of what's going to come out for the rest of the year, it's a vicious cycle, and it's kind of unfair to the designers in a way. Like they're kind of being put in a particular position where, obviously they're given a budget. They have to make their idea fit within said budget and a schedule of release that maybe is a little tight and quick on the turnaround, right? And so that's when some things aren't necessary. I mean, there's still Lego standards that they would uphold, right? But sometimes these things don't always jive together, and they need to get a little bit more quality over quantity, I feel like, on some of this stuff, and not oversaturate their own product. It's getting a little crazy out there. And I mean, here again, we had a, decent March 1st release. We're going to have a second March release, right? When the T-Rex hits later this month. Now you're walking into April, and we've got Big Castle coming out in April. Oh my God, May's around the corner. We're going to get Star Wars. We're going to get potentially something else. Like all this, it's like, you can't keep up. You just can't. It's disgusting. And speaking of that May, oh my God, we could be in for a wild ride come May, everybody, because
I see you did there. Yeah.
There interesting stuff happening this month. Forget May. Interesting stuff happening in March for Mario Day. So Lego celebrating Mario Day, like so many of us Mario fans out there, especially this my co-host here. 2 times insider points available on Mario set purchases from March 5th through March 11th. So if you have been holding off on getting some of the brand new Mario Kart sets that were dropped in January, maybe now's the time. Go get yourself some. Get some extra points while you're doing it. But speaking of Mario Kart, it'd be hard for us not to talk about the rumored elephant in the room at the end of this episode. And this is completely rumored. We're just throwing out, what rumblings we hear. Back when Mario Kart was first, the idea of Mario Kart, Lego Mario Kart, was first unveiled to us last Mario Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We said on this show that if they were going to do a big Nintendo Mario release, their big set, right? The Bowser, the NES, the Piranha Plant, the question mark block, whatever. They were going to do a big Mario set for 2025, considering the push that they were going to be making with Mario Kart to start the year. It just made sense for them to do a Ultimate Collector's Series style Mario Kart type set. Just made sense, right? And then they hit us over the head and they said, nope, here's a Game Boy. Coming out in October. Here's a Game Boy. Made no sense at all. Like, I still, like, again, I'm like going, does anybody like look at their own release schedule that they have in Denmark? Because I don't get the Game Boy thing when you got yourself, you're pushing Mario. You've been pushing Mario Kart for a year. Where's it at? Like, what are you doing? Here's a Game Boy. And now we get this rumor that potentially in May, we could be seeing a $169.99 US Mario Kart 1,972 piece set. Rumored set coming out on May 1st. I got chills, Brian. I'm so excited for this set. If that happens. Do you need a minute? Do you need 5 minutes?
Okay. First of all, when it comes to stuff like this, Lego needs to learn, because although this is a rumor, when the cat is out of the bag, you have to then leave it out of the bag, because if you try to rescind information, images or otherwise, that immediately proves it's real. So I think that's why I'm actually curious. Have we seen those Avengers Doomsday leaked concept art? Have those gotten taken down by people? I don't know. I've seen them way more frequently and they haven't taken them down. So maybe Marvel has learned, like, oh, just leave it up, whatever. Maybe Nintendo, I mean, they're more cutthroat. It makes all the sense in the world to come out with Mario Kart this year. I want them to release way more Mario, way more, like Nintendo is such a rich area of like stuff. Mario, Zelda, everything. And Switch 2 is coming out this year. And Mario Kart is one of the best-selling games of all time. You're getting a new one on Switch 2 when it releases later this year. There's no reason not to. And maybe May, they're doing that because they don't want it to conflict with the Switch 2 release, which is probably going to be like a July, August, September, which would leave October for the Game Boy. So that could be it. Maybe they want it on store shelves while the Switch 2 is available in Mario Kart 9 or whatever it's going to be called. I'm all in. And if, without describing it more in depth, it's going to be a good show next week. Very, very, very good show. And I will react to the findings of Lego Mario stuff on my live stream on Monday.
Is Lego doing any live event for Mario Day?
We don't know that. And if they're not announcing it by 7 p.m., 8 p.m. on Thursday Eastern time, that probably means no, because it is on Monday.
Gotcha. That's what I wondered. I wondered if this was a set that
actually, that might be a lie. They have announced product on Saturday as of recently. So who knows? What was was this castle on Saturday? Something was on Saturday.
This past Saturday. I feel like the castle kind of hit over the weekend. Yeah, that seemed to be, but
so weird.
Again, it was one of those deals. The castle was one of those deals. It was kind of out there, like where it's happening. People get a hold of the lot numbers or the set numbers and the prices, and they just kind of look at things and they kind of start assuming things and whatever. I'm, if this is a set that actually exists, I mean, that Mario Day makes sense, right? Like that's the day you announce it, right?
Yep. You have to wait and see,
and
or
so,
listen to the post show.
Maybe that's the thing, right? Like maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's you wait on something. You got a plan. You're going to stick with the plan, and hey, you roll with it and say, leakers be darned. We're gonna do whatever, or it could be completely fabricated. I think back to the whole the Spider-Man No Way Home. What was it, leak thing, right? Where they got a hold of the Andrew Garfield footage, and man, they went out of their way, dude. Marvel went out of their way to prove how you could doctor other footage from something else to make it look like that Andrew Garfield leak footage. It was fantastic. Sometimes, if something happens to get out there, maybe it's best just to own it and control the narrative at that point and stop letting things run wild. Although it's also a really good conversation starter and builds up hype, and and people start wondering what could be and what could not be and whatever.
Well, but in the case of No Way Home, one of the clips I've been doing in my research with this whole Vegas thing coming up with talk shows and whatever. The clip that's been coming up was the No Way Home cast on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. And literally Kimmel brings up and he's like, there's a scene of the lizard getting punched by nothing, guys. What is this? Like, I don't know. And that was in an official piece of trailer too. Right. So like, hey man,
right.
I think leaks are different. But that was just like, maybe that was an intentional like it's kind of tough, I feel like, to miss it. Like you can clearly tell that VFX artist just like hid the layer that Andrew Garfield was on in that moment. So
and they have, and that's where we've seen with things like that, especially with things like that, like how much they are just hiding layers and removing.
I want to put this out there, by the way, before this gets officially unveiled. I'm decreeing it. If this was a thing at Fan Media Days, and there was so many people that saw this Lego Mario Kart for themselves, and they didn't even slide into my DMs with at least like a little race car emoji or whatever, you are being personally, publicly, and privately disowned and not be able to go on my talk show. Done. That's done.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Put it out there. Put it out there. You're done. You're cooked. You hear that, Mellish? You're cooked.
Hey man, I wanted some confirmation on the stickers, and I didn't even get that. Okay, like I just wanted confirmation on those freaking brickhead stickers.
No one cares about Transformer brickhead
though, and that's the thing. It could have just been a hashtag no stickers or something, an emote. Give me something. I know you all knew if there were stickers or not. Y'all hurt my feelings, man.
The live chat. You'll never work in this town again.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what comes about with Mario Day. If we get any big announcements or anything like that. You are going to be. It's a Monday, right? So you're going to be live on Mario Day. What do you got planned for Mario Day? Anything fun?
I'm thinking I'm going to do Super Mario 64 with crowd control. So you can use your crowd control points that you'll earn. I think I can just set them to free and you just earn them or whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then you'll be able to control aspects of the game as I'm trying to get stars and make progress and stuff, just as a special thing there. So be very cool.
Nice. Very cool. Well, there you go. That's where you guys need to be on Mario Day. Thank you guys for another fantastic show. Once again, this time especially being live. We always love our live on it. We feed off your energy during our live shows. It's harder to do.
I will
shows.
Siphon your energy and use it as my own when I go to NAB show in Las Vegas and prove to those executives that you people are my power. Wrap up the show. I'm gonna go pee.
Y'all, thank you so much for another fantastic Z and B Live, your unfiltered Lego podcast. I wish I had I need a more slide where I can just slide him out of the way and be full screen for you guys. make sure you tune in next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, right here on YouTube for more ZNB Live and some spicy conversations. If you are in the live chat right now, stick around because we have a post show. We'll hang out with you guys for a little bit, take any comments, questions, or concerns about me apparently not being able to appropriately describe Bluey, the freaking blue dog, here on this channel. For Mr. Bricks O'Brien, I am Zach M. Rutledge, and we will see you guys next time. Bye! Hey, look, he's back. So
I've been rolling.
What do you want to talk about?
These sorry. Go ahead. What was it? Sorry.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Dude, I've been on a roll with this like Hollywood O'Brien with this whole shtick. Oh man.
Mr. Bricks O'Brien, what would you like in your coffee, sir? Mr. Bricks O'Brien, what would you like in your coffee, sir?
Excuse me, you should know my order by now, Rutledge. So fun fact for you. I've been given some Uber Eats gift cards fairly recently. I feel horrific when somebody else delivers my food.
Why?
I don't know.
That's literally their job. You're helping them like live.
I know, but like, and I tip appropriately, more than the 20%, like whatever, an appropriate amount. I feel bad. I just feel really bad.
Tuesday
because I know I'm capable of going and getting it myself, and I feel like I'm putting somebody else out of their way.
We've talked about this. It is their job.
Yeah, but like
literally, that is the only way. Like if you stopped if you stop getting it, they don't get paid.
Yeah, but there's other people that like.
Yeah, but what if everybody starts having your same mentality?
I don't know. I didn't say I was right, Chad. I'm just saying that's my feeling. Like,
get over it. So what you're trying to say is when you do get to Hollywood, you're not going to be able to have an assistant that goes and gets you stuff. That's a load.
I don't want that. No. If I can't go out of my way to get my own coffee, I don't need coffee. Unless it's a group order.
No.
I'm not going to say to any one person, you specific and only person, can you go only get my coffee? I'm not doing that.
First of all, you won't have to say it because your assistant is going to make sure that you're taken care of that way. They're going to know what your needs are. Like when you start getting grumpy O'Brien, they're just going to hand you a freaking Snickers. They're going to walk around with a Snickers in their pocket and just going to hand it to you.
Can't do it.
No. I disagree. He will so get tarnished by the Hollywood machine, and he will be yelling at his assistants to get him. The coffee's too hot. I need lukewarm coffee.
That's not their fault. It's the person who made it at the.
You're gonna send them back for it. I give it a month.
No, I have bad Dunkin' all the time, and I just take it. Dude, on my birthday last year.
Yeah, but you're not Hollywood O'Brien yet. Bricks O'Brien takes it.
I'm metamorphosizing.
Sends it back.
On my birthday last year, I got Dunkin' Donuts that was like the pink velvet, whatever flavor, and I drank the entire thing, even though it tasted like clay. There's an Instagram reel out there of me drinking clay coffee on my birthday. That's how willing to tolerate this I am. It's gonna happen.
No. It would happen now.
No.
It would happen now. It won't happen. It won't. I give you a month in the Hollywood machine, and you are like, When
I can't envision that.
I don't. I guess I don't know that. Have you ever have you been on a television set or any kind of production set before where they had PAs and things like that running around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it. Most recently was when I went and did the Build Against Cancer thing at St. Jude. There were like a ton of people everywhere, and there was the catering with the blah blah blah.
Take care of you.
They took care of other people.
Well, but okay. But that's kind of my point. Like once you get into the thick of it, like you're going to have to delegate, right? Like you have to delegate.
For sure. Yeah.
And part of that delegation is, your particular assistants or production assistants or whatever that are out there doing other things. So, and eventually you get a taste for it. And then Hollywood Brian steps in, right?
So I wouldn't feel good. The only time I'm okay with it.
He wouldn't make it in a corporate office setting.
I would rather be, all right, yes, get me something with the stipulation that you get something for yourself. It's not, I wouldn't feel good about literally anybody going out of my way just to get me a coffee. I can't think of a time that's ever happened.
Yet. I'm telling you, that's Bricks O'Brien talking. This is a whole other animal we're talking about here. The no mod, forgetting who the little guy was. Get my coffee now, Hollywood O'Brien. That's what we're talking about. That's a whole different person.
We need this as a sketch and a collectible card given out as my business card. Kevin, he's live streaming. Just tell him to stop.
Hollywood O'Brien is the big bad of how to or defeating trolls. Programmer's Guide to Defeating Trolls. Hollywood O'Brien sits on top of the castle.
The antithesis of Bricks O'Brien.
It's his shadow. It's his shadow self that he has to defeat to get the Triforce or whatever, right?
I can't have my creative processes interrupted by petty chores like feeding myself. Fetch me a Mocha Doka Fropa from Starbucks, please and thank you.
And then he'll find himself again. It's like a whole series of Schitt's Creek, like where he starts with nothing, gets everything, loses all of it, and then has to climb his way back up.
I've already done that like a couple times. Some other monster a couple times. We're due for it. We're on the upswing right now. We're going this way, so let's keep it this way.
There you go. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If this Mario Kart is real, does it need to have I saw somebody mention this. Does it need to have the glider?
No, who cares?
That is a who cares thing. Okay.
I think it's a who cares thing because I look at the cover of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which maybe the set would look like in a way. It does not have the glider. So if I'm thinking from like approachability standpoint, what's on the box, whatever, I think the glider takes away from the thing. I think it does. So I'm not a fan of that. Like, you can leave it out. That's fine. I would have rather had, in this case, an item box or something like that to kind of go with it as like if that were a gift with purchase, like MIDI scale item box on the clear with the printed even sticker sides. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's dope.
Let me ask you
I
this.
would rather have that.
I got another one for you. Does it work within the Mario ecosystem of the electronic figure somehow, some way?
I think you could put it in, have one of the characters in the engine compartment.
Did
that.
Did the Piranha Plant?
That was the only Nintendo set that had no functionality. No, only Mario set.
So they've said, I mean, they've shown that they're willing to do it. So it could not have anything.
Yeah, but it's literally a tile that's like that. That's a sticker on it, and they already have the Mario. They can literally take a tile from the main cart. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. You just put it in there, and it just does the startup sounds and whatever.
Kind of just a sound feature. I got you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then you could also do the trophies that you win, like the Mushroom Cup, the Star Cup. Like, dude, when we go, not if, obviously, when we go to Super Nintendo World and you're going through Bowser's Castle, they have prop replica life-size versions of the cups on the walls or sitting there. Like, they're all chromed out and like, oh,
I just want you to know, when we go, I'm going like, I'm gonna be a pest, because I'm gonna like go all in on all of that stuff. Like, I'm gonna be hitting every block.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. I am too, dude.
I'm gonna be walking around with my Mario hat on. I may even show up. I may even bring the Mario costume. I don't know. We'll see.
So when I went with Nick and Graham back in October, like, we spent majority of the time in Super Nintendo World, and that's really what you do there at this point. And there were like, okay, we did everything. We bought like every dessert. We didn't buy every piece of food. It was a lot, but we bought all the desserts, whatever. But we didn't, they were not willing to wait in line for Mario and Luigi for the meet and greet. So they were 80% in, but not 100% in.
Oh, no,
so gotta be all in. And actually, Graham, he bought more merch for his kids than I did for myself, which obviously I'm a big goober, clearly. So you figure I would have spent more money than him and his two kids combined, but I didn't.
I mean, I was that way when I went to Legoland for the first time. I was just like, I don't care.
No,
if this is for kids.
There's nothing at Legoland. No, it kind of sucks. Actually.
No, but that's the thing though. Like, it's all for kids. I get it. Whatever. Like, and little kids. I didn't care. Yeah. Like, I went, dude. I was like, let's be as stupid as I can be and goofy and let's just have a good time.
Did you buy a bunch of merch from there?
I walked away with some stuff. Yeah,
there wasn't a ton. Like, there's not a ton.
No,
that
it was
you're like,
kind of waiting for the store at the end of the day, and I think I walked out with a few sets at the end of the day.
Yeah, they have a couple of the exclusive, like the rides and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot though. Like, they didn't have a lot of stuff that was like exclusive. At least the San Diego one didn't. I don't know about the other. They
actually have some plushies and stuff in there that are just general plushies. They aren't even like Legoland themed. They're like New York themed. When I went to the New York one, like, so it's weird.
So wait, do Mario and Luigi talk to you, or are they silent figures? They have silent characters.
They talk. And talks and Toad does not. They've had Yoshi in California. I don't know if he talks. And then Donkey Kong does talk.
That's awesome.
I love how the character meet and greets are 20% of the experience to Brian. Shut up, Mellish. You're right.
Hey, listen, some of my favorite interactions at Disney have been with character meet and greets, man, even as an adult.
20% is character meet and greet. We have 20% for food, 20% for rides, 20% for merch, and then the 20% rest of it is compensated by all those parts being combined. So it's like, it's a whole encompassed thing.
I was told there'd be no math.
It's going to be magical when we go. It's going to be awesome. Like, everything I'm seeing out of Epic Universe is so cool and so next level in every way. It's awesome.
The real question is, can you get me on some of those like ridiculous roller coasters? Some of those roller coasters they have at Universal scare the hell out of me.
Like what?
What's the one? There's one near Minions that, like,
I haven't been to Orlando.
Oh, okay. All right. There was one that like on a I don't know. It's like on a platform that you're on you're in a car or whatever, it goes on a platform and the whole thing tips and then they just release you. I would poop my pants. The Hulk was fun. The Hulk ride was a blast. I love that one.
If it's just a thrill ride for a thrill ride, I'm not a fan of that. I didn't go on the Mummy when I went to California because I needed to use the bathroom. So I'm like, if I go on this ride, I'm cooked. So I didn't go on the ride. So
I missed the Mummy too. I did not. It was the line was too long. We didn't get a chance to wait for it.
Yeah. The one that really messed with me in Disney was Everest. I was on it.
That ride. That'll pucker up your butthole real fast.
I was just shifting like around. I'm like, whoa, all right, cool.
Yeah, that one was fun. What was it? Oh, the Hagrid ride is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
They got They had some good stuff. I just hadn't had a chance to ride the Mummy. I think was the one that stood out that I was like, man, I really wanted to ride that one. But there was some kind of roller coaster in the background that I was just like, every time we would walk by it as the family, we would all look at it and go, nope. As a collective, nope. Absolutely not. But because I know Epic Universe is going to have some wild stuff, so that's where I'm like, I mean, I'll do it.
No, but some of that, like, it's wild, but it's thematic. It's new technology. So like one of the rides is like it's all the monsters in the castle. Like that one, you know, you're gonna see all these animatronics and all these lighting effects, and I'm like, yes,
that's why
cool.
you like Tiana so much, right? Is that environment?
Yeah. It's atmospheric. Well, I mean, that ride also takes its time. You know, it's like you have the thrill, you have the ambiance, you have the whatever. Like you can appreciate all the effort that goes into it. And then yes, but like I went on Seven Dwarves Mine Train, which is a newer one, and I'm like, I didn't really care about it.
Seven Dwarves Mine Ride is kind of weak because it's so short. It just doesn't do enough.
Tron is short, dude.
Tron is stupid short.
That is the most overrated ride I've ever been on. Maybe the most
big, and the presentation is grand as what it is. For it to be over like that, and the line that you have to wait, yikes. Now,
dude, and people wait 3 hours for it. Get out of here.
Yeah. Now, Betts, I rode Tower of Terror in California when it was Tower of Terror, and then they changed it to Guardians in California, and I've ridden that. I've yet to ride the Tower of Terror in Florida, which I hear is different, like quite a bit different than the one that I rode in California. So I don't know which one you rode, Betts, but I don't know. I like the Guardians ride. I like the Tower of Terror. I thought the Tower of Terror one was really neat. Like the way they did it, because the door closed and then all of a sudden you were like in the stars and everything. I thought that was the effect was very cool. I don't love the feeling of falling that much, and heights bother me. And when a ride basically combines those two things, it does take a lot for me to get on the ride. I will do it, and I have done it. But my son loves the Guardians ride that replaced Tower of Terror. Like that is his all-time favorite ride. He will ride it 17 times in a row if you let him, right? And Guardians is a little bit different than Tower of Terror because you get to go you go up first as opposed to falling right away. But
you know, I had a moment at Disney. I don't think I've talked about it before, but I went I was at Epcot. I went on Soarin', right? The most, you know, you're contained in the seat. It's a big theater. It's not a thrill ride, whatever. And I had this moment where I'm riding it and I'm like nervous. I'm just totally like in my own head. And I'm like, whoa, why am I so whatever? I know for a fact I'm going to be fine. And that thought just like went through all of my memories as like a everything in my life. And I'm like, why am I worrying? I'm going to be fine. So I allowed myself to, like, instead of being anxious about being in the seat when I know for a fact I'm going to be good, I just took in all these sights as everything was, you know, going past you and soaring through it. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. And I just learned to pace my breathing as I was watching. Cause like, it tricks your mind, right? You're like, oh my God, like I'm flying. So at that point, when I went on Everest and all these other things, I felt totally fine. Cause I'm like, I'm going to be fine. Allow myself to breathe and just go. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, but Soarin' was the ride that did it for me to trick myself into being okay being on thrill rides.
Soarin's takeoff usually gives you a weird feeling, like that initial like, you know, up to the screen where like all, you know, you don't realize how high up you're going until that moment, right? And then that's when it hits me more than anything.
For me, it was the wind effects when it would be like, you know, you're going through the clouds and it kind of like it hits you.
Yeah.
That's what got me.
Over the waterfall. Like when all of a that's when the fear of heights kicks in for me. Out of all of that is when you're running and it seems like the ground, you know, again, my brain, I know that I'm just sitting in a seat and I know whatever, but it's running along that waterbed and then all of a sudden it just opens up into like this huge crevasse, you know, and like that moment right there, every time My sphincter just goes whoop, every time.
I feel it all in here. Like I get like tense.
Mm-hmm.
So I just allow myself to like I literally I go into manual breathing mode and I'm like, and then I'm good.
Yeah. I feel like everybody Jameson, I feel like everybody should try to go once. Like it should be if there's one thing on a bucket list kind of thing, go take your family and do what we're talking about here with, like, just go be a big kid. Like when I go to Nintendo World, like I just want to be a big kid and not worry about whatever and just have fun and embrace the silliness of it and stuff. And I feel like if you approach Disney that way and you don't approach it with a freaking schedule and a spreadsheet and all this other junk that people do, just go have fun. Just go be in the moment. Go have a good time. Don't do
what my friends and I did.
What'd you do? Oh, you had
literally a spreadsheet. It was like, no, we got to be here at this time and this.
No. We all have those friends or those family that do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not worth it. You get through. You probably get through more potentially, and you get to do more things. But was it as enjoyable as an experience of it just being chill and whatever? And then if you're just randomly walking through and a moment happens, like that's going to a theme park with your family, especially something as expensive as a Disney or as expensive as a Universal. You gotta be prepared to embrace those moments that you can have with your family or friends. And if you're stuck to a schedule and stuck to a spreadsheet, you're never going to allow yourself to have those spontaneous moments that you might have. And that's part of what makes a Disneyland or Disney World kind of magical, is those types of. It's not waiting in line for 80 minutes to go meet Chewbacca or whatever, right? It's like all of a sudden you're just randomly walking around and there he is, and he decides he's going to hang out with you for 20 minutes. Like I've seen that happen and it's amazing. And if you were stuck to a schedule and like your schedule shot because your kid got to hang out with Chewbacca for 20 minutes.
Here's a funny moment. I was in the lobby of the Contemporary because a lot of my friends were out sitting by the pool. And like, I'm not a sit by the pool guy either. Never have been. And especially in that Florida humidity, get out of here. So I was in the lobby of the Contemporary and Pluto comes out and he sits in front of the TV and he watches Bluey. And I'm like, oh, you're getting some inspiration. And he's like, and just watching. And then Donald and everybody else comes out because they were going wherever. But like, yeah, those moments, you need to, that's the really like hard thing I feel like to convey is to, like, in life, not just at Disney, but you need to allow those moments to happen. And they don't happen by having everything planned out and being methodical about stuff. You need to just exist in the space that you're in and allow life to kind of happen. And that's the magic of Disney, the magic of life, I find. So I'm doing that way more often now. And we'll be doing it way more often from now on, for sure.
The build your own lightsaber thing, Jameson, is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. As a grown man.
I'm glad you said it. I would have said it's overrated. I didn't do it. I'm not a
grown man that is a massive Star Wars fan. Dude, it got dusty in there. Because they do. I mean, I hate this. I mean, it's all over the internet at this point, but like when you go through the process, like obviously there's a build process, there's a story involved, and they're like, whatever. But then you get all your lightsabers complete, and the helpers check them and make sure that they're good, and you your hilt, as far as your hilt, and then you insert them into this big round table that you're all standing around in, and then you hear Yoda speak. The lights dim, Yoda speaks, and the person whatever says something, and then they tell you, everybody ignite your sabers, and it's still stuck in the table. And you turn them on and you just see these glow, like, of all of these different colors, because you're so in your own moment that you didn't see what other people were doing, right? So now this is the moment where you get to see what all of the other kyber crystals people chose around this table, right? And then the screen goes back and they're like, okay, now raise them. And you all together, like all 50 of you or whatever, all hold your lightsabers up at the same. Dude, it is hot in there at that point. It gets amazing, dude. And it was like, I got to do it. I was by myself on one of the early previews. So I did it by myself, but then I got to take my son and I got to sit there and watch him do it. dude, it got real dusty in there. Real watching this little. I think he was 6 or something at the time. Watching this 6-year-old like raise his lightsaber up, dude. I was like,
that's a magical fatherly moment right there for sure,
dude. It was so dope, dude. I loved it. And the closest thing to that was we went to Universal and he got to do the wand thing, right? And he was, the kid picking the wand and trying it out and whatever. And then like he picks the right one and a freaking like spotlight hits him and like the music swells. And I was like, dude, I looked at my wife. She's crying. I'm crying. Like, because this was right in the middle of COVID. And it was like he had a his worst year. Like, they pulled all the kids out of school and all this stuff. And he's been isolated and all that. To have that be like the cap after like everything was not back to normal, but getting there, to see him like get to live out that moment, dude, that was sick. It was such a cool moment, dude. But the lightsaber moment was better.
Well, yeah, that's like you're in a private theater sort of situation.
Yeah. It was
there isn't really a moment for Nintendo you could do that, or like another context even. Like there's only really those two things across a like a franchise you can kind of do that with, right?
They need something. Whether it be a star mushroom, whatever powers you up. I don't know, something.
No, but I'm talking even not even just Nintendo, but everything. Like where you get your own thing and it's an experience and people really care about it,
Yeah.
A Zelda thing. Well, they'd just be similar to like pulling the sword out of the stone at Disney. Same idea.
That thing too. I love seeing people when they get to do that stuff, that whole pageantry that they put on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we got to wait and see what happens on Mario Day, but hopefully keep my fingers crossed. We've got some big stuff to talk about on next episode. We'll see.
We didn't even talk about Daredevil.
Did you watch it?
I watched episode 1 and I'm saving episode 2.
Okay. So good.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did what they did in episode 1. Episode 2, obviously leaves you on not a major cliffhanger, but like a cliffhanger. Felt very similar to like what they used to do with the Netflix show, which is why you would binge watch it. It was because it wasn't weekly. They would leave you with enough of a hanger that you wanted to keep going. And that was the way I felt at the end of episode 2. It was like, I'm not done yet. I don't want to wait a week. You can't do that. Like I need more of a resolution to this.
Yeah.
And they didn't give it to me. So, and actually I didn't know this going into the show, but the character White Tiger in the show, you only see him briefly in the first episode. He's from the video screen or whatever. The actor died.
Did he really?
At the end of like 2023, and he had just finished all of his scenes or something. So like they didn't have to replace him or do anything or whatever. They were able to finish the show because he had shot all of his stuff. I didn't know that going into it, so it was kind of interesting to find it out afterwards. But sad.
No, I had no idea.
No spoilers. I know. Well, I mean, he's in the trailer. I mean, they've shown him in the trailer, so it's not. Yeah, no, that's not a spoiler. Anyway, well, good show, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate y'all. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. And when this show officially goes live, whatever, share out the links. Do the thing. Help us out. Help spread the word. If you guys are, following us on all the podcast platforms, go ahead and, do those things there as well. Leave comments. Comments help. Likes help. And shares are huge. So if you've got social media on other platforms, other channels, share it out. Push out the link. You never know who's going to pick it up in the algorithm. So any of that stuff can very much help. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Brian's going to be live again on Saturday.
No, tomorrow night we're doing Super Mario Bros. The original, and then on Monday for the Mario reveal. Massive thank you, everybody. By the way, bookmarking Kickstarter. We got up to 167 followers on there, an official acknowledgement from Kickstarter as a project we love. So they have the stamp of approval on Pro Gamer's Guide to Defeating Trolls. So even more awesomeness there on that front. Appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. I'm live again tomorrow day. 10 a.m. Eastern, and just going to be working on more Gunpla kits. And then Saturday, I'm hanging out over with Maca Builds on his channel, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we're going to be working on the F1 McLaren Senna car. So check us out over there. Come hang out with us. There's Maca. Come hang out with us over there on his channel. Support that dude over there on Twitch. And yeah, should be a good time. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Brooks O'Brien. Appreciate you. Hollywood O'Brien. Just going to start calling you Hollywood O'Brien. Hollywood.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Bye, everybody.